Hi guys, my name is Julie and I got into UCLA as a transfer student and I'm here to help you get into. Okay, so I actually graduated from UCLA a few years ago, but I figured I would just make this video just because I know there are a lot of students who are going to take the community college route during this pandemic. My video is mainly going to apply to those who are going to California community colleges just because that's what I'm familiar with and that's how I got in through that process. So if you are going to a California community college, there's one important document that you really need to know the ins and outs, like front and back of. And that document is called IGETC. IGETC is IGETC, and it stands for, I actually do not know what it stands for off the top of my head. Let me see. Okay, it's called the Intersegmental General Education Transfer Curriculum. What a mouthful. Okay. Basically, it's a document that outlines what you need to take at the community colleges in order for your classes to get transferred over to the prospective UC that you want to apply to. So that one is kind of difficult to navigate, but once you just sit down and look at what the document specifically says, you'll start to get a hang of what it actually wants you to take and stuff like that. I mean, it's important that you really follow it so that you knock out your courses right away. So if I, for example, pull up on my computer IGETC and I'll do De Anza College in the Bay Area. That's just because I was familiar with that document. So I just put in IGETC De Anza and I'll click on the first document that pops up. So for example, you can see it's broken down into sections: English, math, sciences, humanities, things like that. And it will tell you what courses you need to take or what courses you can take at your community college so that it can transfer over to wherever you want to go. And this is really important because it'll help save you time and money so that you're not taking just random classes that will never even count towards your degree. And this document applies not only to UCs, but also California state schools as well, and sometimes private schools. Like I know some of my friends who followed this document got into USC, and so their classes were transferable. The second thing that's really important is a website called assist.org. Assist.org helps you know what classes you have to take in order to get into the major that you want to get into. So if you just go to assist.org, you can select the community college that you currently attend, and then you can select whatever UC or CSU that you want to get into for your specific major. And it will tell you specifically what courses they want you to take and what courses you will need for that major. And that's really important because, you know, a lot of people want to be like bio majors or psychology majors, and those are very impacted majors, or coding, computer science, and those are very impacted majors. And so it's really important to make yourself stand out by taking these classes that are necessary for those majors, just so that the admission committee know that you're capable of handling those major courses so that it's the right career for you or the right major choice for you. So those are really important, and I cannot stress those enough because that's really how I got in, I feel like. And what I recommend doing is seriously sitting down and planning out your class schedules for the next 2, 3, however many years you plan at being at the community college for, and just figuring out what classes you need to take depending on your school. If it's a quarter system or a semester system, then you need to write out all those courses for every semester that you plan on being there. And it doesn't guarantee that you're going to get those classes, but it kind of gives you a timeline and like just a schedule so that you know you have to stick to. It's important that you have this down and in a place where you can see it like every single day so that you know if you're on track to getting those classes or getting them done so that you can be transferring on time in the specific time frame that you want. Another thing that I don't know if a lot of community colleges have this, but I know my school did, is an honors program. So it's basically what the name says. So there will be like English 1A, but there will be an English 1A honors course. And so this honors course at my school doesn't give you a boost in your GPA, but it's noted on your transcript that it's an honors course. And I know this looks really good for admission committees reading your just portfolio to know that you're capable of taking a harder course. And I don't know if this is extremely beneficial for UCs. I mean, it can't hurt, but I know that it helps a lot in private colleges like USC, Columbia, Cornell, and like I do know some people who transfer to Ivy Leagues from community colleges, so it definitely is possible. And I do think this also really helps your transcript just to show that you're hardworking and you're capable of handling more challenging courses. The next topic is to really be active, whether that's on or off campus. So I was only doing like two major things outside of school, and that was volunteering at the hospital. Okay, three major things. Okay. That was volunteering at the hospital, tutoring as a side job, and teaching kids at a local like temple how to read, write, and speak Vietnamese every Sundays. Now, you don't have to have like crazy extracurricular activities, but you really just need something that you're extremely passionate about. So I was really passionate about working with kids, and so this really helped strengthen my major, my personal statements, and it really just tied everything together because it wasn't something big in the grand scheme of life where it was like winning one of those awards or scholarships. But when you're just able to show that you're passionate about something and really actually be passionate about it to the point where you can write it in your personal essay, I think that is what really helped me get into UCLA and impress the people reading my essay, and will help your chances of getting in if you find something that you're extremely passionate about. And if you don't know what you're passionate about, something that I really recommend doing, and I did it too, which I think looks phenomenal on your application, is joining the student body at your community college. Mine was kind of like high school where you run, you win or you don't win, then you just basically help hold events for school, approve of other clubs and things like that. This is a great starting point if you don't know what to do or if you're completely clueless about extracurricular activities. I think this looks really good because it shows that you have great leadership. You're willing to be a part of the student government for a community college, and usually I feel like people don't think of joining clubs like that at community colleges. So to see an applicant be involved in their school and like get other students involved too, I think that looks really great. So I would recommend joining that if you did ASB in high school, or if you're completely lost about what you want to do. That's a great starting point. And then really just the last point I have is to take school seriously. I know that people tend to think of community colleges as like a joke, and speaking from experience, when I transferred to UCLA, there are definitely classes at my community college that were so easy compared to UCLA, but there were also some classes that were extremely harder than the courses that I had at UCLA. And I think it's just important that you take them seriously, you go to your classes, you get to know your professors, because at the end of the day, if you're applying for scholarships or jobs or private colleges, you're going to need these letters of rec, and they mean a lot more, and basically it's better if you get letter of recs from professors that you have for courses. So really just go to class, take them seriously, always try to sit in the first 2 or 3 rows. I personally would not want to sit in the front row just because that's a little too close to comfort for me, but the second to third row, you always need to sit there so that your professor knows your face and they'll just recognize you, and they'll be more willing to help you write letters of rec if they know who they're writing it for. So I really recommend going to your classes, getting to know your professors, applying to scholarships, asking them to write you letter of recs and things like that. So those are really just I think it was 4 main points that I have. Let me know if you have any questions about transferring. I absolutely love helping people figure out their courses. I do it for my cousins all the time, and yeah, good luck. Okay, so I just realized that I put emphasis on sitting in the first like 2-3 rows, and I totally forgot that, you know, a lot of colleges are doing this whole online thing now. So what I recommend doing in replacement of that is you really got to attend office hours. I know that some professors will hold office hours now during this whole situation, and you just need to show up or at least respond during these Zoom meetings so that they are aware of who you are. They know that you're actually paying attention in class and you really care about what they're teaching. So disregard my whole sit in the front 2 rows if your school isn't allowing you to come back on campus yet. And just really email your professors, participate during these online lectures. Oh my god, and I forgot to include in that if you're applying and one of your top choices is UCLA, for example, just remember that grades do not define everything, because I did not have like the perfect transcript. I swear to you, I literally had like 7 W's on my transcript due to various reasons. And yeah, just know that like grades don't define you. And I got into UCLA as a transfer student, and if you're applying this year and your grades are not like top notch, don't even worry about that. Just put a lot of emphasis in writing your essay, because that will be the ticket to getting you in.